There are some other matters that are in the coalition agreement. You said you wanted to remove and replace the RSE policies in schools, the relationship and sex education program,
Yes.
the curriculum which was being put around in schools. Is that happening? Is that being removed?
It's a work in progress. It's an attack on parental rights. It's an attack on the belief that parents should be consulted as to what their children are being taught, that we all as a society should know before anybody goes down that pathway what the curriculum is. And you got these people, it's happened in so many areas of our society, they just usurp powers, assume powers, and get affronted when someone says you've got no right to do that. You see what I mean? There was a time when nobody as a teacher would even think that. Look, I'm a former primary and secondary school teacher before I went into the law, and I've got a long, big family connection with it, with education. But the very idea that you just go down this pathway would upset anybody of my generation and all the people who trained with me. And when we used to be in the first three in the world, mind you, not where we are now. See what's gone wrong?
Yeah, I do. This might be getting into the minutiae of education funding, but there's a group called Inside Out, which is very much at the forefront of this RSE program in schools. They were being funded to the tune of nearly $1 million by the government. Do you know whether or not they're still being funded by the government?
I don't know that, but now that you alerted me, I'll get onto it.
Sport New Zealand and its rules for transgender women in women's sport. You were very hot on this in the campaign before the election last year. How confident are you now that Sport New Zealand will change its attitude after Chris Bishop's announcement in the last couple of days?
Sport New Zealand should have seen the coalition agreement. They knew it was an agreement between us. And now we've had to write to them, Minister Bishop has, to say to them, see that coalition agreement? Start honouring it. Now this is just the beginning. We're going to press on. And if they don't, then the matter of taxation support for their operations will be directly in question, because the taxpayers are owed an answer on this matter. When 50 athletes come out and support what we're saying, on the basis that we're not against anybody, but it's about fairness, why should a woman or a girl be in a contest where someone is physically advantaged because they're a different gender? It's just common sense. And why has it become so unusual in 2024 that we hear some common sense and some people get aghast at it? Perhaps it shows how wrong our education system has been these last 30 years.
Is it fair to say that Chris Bishop would not have acted unless you had prodded him?
I can't say that. You'll have to ask Chris.
But have you been hot around the cabinet table on this issue? Have you made your point forcefully around the cabinet table about this?
I made it forcefully in the coalition agreement. And we signed an agreement for it to be honoured. We're honouring it. We are doing things sometimes we don't like, but we've signed the agreement. We've got to stick with it.